guys get fired up, it could be something quite electrifying. But yes, indeed, make some noise, London! It will be G2 versus Luminosity here in the quarterfinals, battling for a place in the semis, and they've both looked scrappy so far, but we'll see who comes out top here. It's going to be a nice little duel, and G2 finding all the headshots required of those Glocks. It's an absolute massacre in the connector, but Yell, he's fighting back. He's at least got the bomb here. Can he find any more? He's going to run out of bullets, and that should be the round, and indeed, that will be it. G2 pick it up. A very fast pistol there, Matt. Not many tactics displayed, an all-out brawl towards the underpass.
I said to Smiths this morning at breakfast, I said, welcome back to playing. He said, yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
Obviously yesterday didn't really get a lot done, did they? So hopefully they'll continue on with this good start and get some confidence built up more than anything, it sounds like.
Yeah, not many frags achieved them yesterday. It was a bit of a mauling, but there we go. Good start for G2 now. And it's a map where G2 historically have always been quite well versed on. Shoxy's teams always seem to be pretty decent on overpass. But we'll see whether Luminosity can do anything here with a force buy in the second round. We'll see those CZs. A deagle for Yell and Shoxy to open things up. Nice double kill as Existence will chime in as well. It's going to be a 5 versus 2. Yell and Steel, not really much left to do here. The bomb should be planted momentarily, and these Mac-10s, they'll be hunting for those extra bits of utility and cash they can salvage on the map. Steel is in towards T-spawn right now, and Yell, I think he's holding at the A-bomb side.
So plant down, deagle to hold, as well as the armor onto Steel. They want to bring those into the next round, so position themselves accordingly, perhaps get a few exits at best. If G2 go hunting, they can afford to do so on the Mac-10s, no question about that. Kenny and Smiths. Kenny goes down, so again, it was the Mac-10. Not the biggest deal. It would have been nice if Kenny could build up a little bit of a bank, but just to note, Kenny and Smiths, if they can get an economy going, yesterday we didn't ever get a chance to see it, but double op potential does exist within those two.
On this map especially as well. Maybe not the T side so much,
exactly.
But on the CT side, you're definitely going to see that at some point. Definitely something maybe G2 have been missing out on in the past, having that double op potential. They've had Kenny S for so long, so powerful, at times considered the world's best AWP. I wouldn't give him that mantle anymore, but hopefully we can see him develop into this series, and he'll be going up against very proficient AWPers on the CT side as well. Luminosity obviously got Yell there as well. He's quite fast, aggressive, and flicky himself, so hopefully we can see a bit of a battle build up. But for now, this should be the full eco now from the Brazilian side. We're going to see the Deagle, the CZ, and still a bit of armor there. Only died once, managed to save that, and this should be a bit of a gimme for the G2 side now. See Kenny S back on the Galil, 2 Mac-10s between Smiths and Shoxy, as the former starts to make his way towards short, looking for those first frags again. It was a full-on B stack from Luminosity. They'll fall back and go towards A. They can sense something is not quite right. As Steel does open things up, he gets the first kill and upgrades to a Galil. But he's been taken down to 7 HP and should be dealt with momentarily. Its Existence, watching the flanks, and now an equal playing field, but that's only in manpower, not so much in terms of the weaponry.
Showtime going to work up middle with PKL. Kenny down below. Patience as always from G2 in these situations. One of the things you have to consider as well is, I suppose it's French in general, but to force buy so aggressively, have to keep an eye on that, because it certainly could haunt them. Given that they're slightly off form right now, they need to be as careful and, I think, conservative as possible in that regard. Quick clear of the B site, wide open. So we saw the stack in front of the bathroom, so another bomb plant to come in, gun round to the next. But question is what guns get held and which go down, because there's no real purpose of saving further beyond the pistols that they have. They're all on default. A little bit of armor for Yell, but the rest, well, gonna go down one by one. They could afford to go after Kenny more aggressively. He builds up a little bit of a bank. It's not quite the Mac-10 Smiths has, mind you. Fun stuff starts in the next round, Henry.
The fun certainly does begin at that point. After the force buy of Luminosity in that second round, they're not going to be fully equipped, but if Nikis can hold on to this Galil, that would be very beneficial. He might find another kill here. Indeed he does. He's making this very expensive. Not really worth chasing. He's only got the Galil. They'll get him in the end, but it cost them 3 players. And 2 will survive, Existence and Shoxy, to bring over the AK-47 and the Galil. They can afford an AWP for Kenny S. I'm sure that'll be brought out momentarily. But yes, indeed, we'll start to see where this game is heading. Our Luminosity wanting to provide an aggressive game here. They have pulled the AWP themselves for Yell, but you can see a distinct lack of utility there. PKL only with the flashbang. Yell only a smoke. They haven't got any kits right now. So this will be a little bit rough for them. Not the super aggressive start I was anticipating from Yell. I thought he would set the tone, but maybe stifled somewhat, knowing he's up against Kenny S, who starts to make their way towards long to the Existence. Obviously the new in-game leader of this squad, just brought in. They've barely practiced. It's a project for sure, as they get completely battered by NRG yesterday, looking to pick themselves up here in the best of 3, an environment that more is suitable for this sort of scenario. You know, the best of one against an established team like Energy is always going to be difficult, but they could grind out a best of 3, I think, against Luminosity.
And likewise for Luminosity, you get a chance to perhaps build into it. Yesterday was tough on them. Yell, good start, takes down Body, first pick on the AWP. Smokes off the front of Bathrooms as well, but they have conceded long in doing so. It was all in on one approach, and then a recovery on the other. PKL's going to have to sit and hold with the smokes down. He can't afford to go aggressive. He's completely blinded. So too is his opposition on the other side. Steel in reverse is able to find 2. That allows him finally to slide out and get existence. Kenny makes up for it, but he's down to 20 HP in a 1 versus 3. And the AWP worth saving. Obviously had to invest significantly into it. I think he had 6150 at the start of the round. Yeah, there you go. You can see the money now. So he's down to 150, and it's only going to be 1,400 for them. The team will be able to buy with the AWP either drop to him or not at all.
What a up. 30 seconds to try and hold on to the AWP. At this point, you can see they could still buy. Maybe he saves the sniper rifle. 20 HP, no chance of winning the round. Just going to try and hold on to the weapon. So well done to Luminosity there. It was a faster A approach. It's quite common on the first gun rounds, considering your opponent's force ball in that second. You're trying to get up quickly, go for the execution, hope they don't have the incendiaries or the smoke grenades to hold you off necessarily. But very strong stuff. PKL picks up a very important frag towards long, finds the bomb, and that was absolutely everything, because G2 couldn't do anything to get themselves back into the round. Kenny S will hold on to the AWP. That is great news for G2. But there it is, the first round for Luminosity. I do think this will go the full distance. I think we'll see all 3 maps. They're going to be very close games. Not the most beautiful CS we played. Both teams still getting established themselves. There's still lovely work with the M4A4, just positioning between the bathrooms and long A, setting his teammate up. And we'll get into what should be a pretty decent buy overall with the AWP. You can see 4 AKs there. Utility a little bit lacking, but overall, Kenny S has got enough to get himself into this round. No aggression once again from the CTs. They're playing a very passive game so far.
Yell posted this time at long, blinded, but times it perfectly. Smiths goes down, so twice in succession he's been able to find the opening pick on that AWP. Once again goes passive as well, so staying dynamic on the Luminosity side. And actually that is very encouraging to see in the course of 2 gun rounds that they've been so successful, first in finding the picks, but also in changing their setup accordingly. He's not gone far. Park sign for that AWP can actually bait Steel in if they're careless in clearing their corners. They have gotten the front side of Bathroom as a result of it, so keep in mind that Luminosity's not going for a 3-man aggression. In fact, they're almost playing a 2-2 with a swing, and it's PKL that's been the man tasked with going either direction, this time playing inside of window.
We've got Steel now in the one and done position, baited in by Yell. Normally can flash over just like that to try and get a bit of information. Oh, not the cleanest of kills, but does find existence there, and they maintain the man advantage. 5 versus 3. At this point, the round should be won. It's all up to G2 to try and pull it back in their favor.
And this is exactly the swing we were talking about. So Steel gets back inside of the site. There's no need for him to stay out toward the garden position. And PKL rotates back in, so it immediately gets them ready for the take in front of the Bathrooms, which was also spotted by Yell when he peeked back out. So G2 has a lot of pressure. 27 seconds they'll smoke in, desperate to get a bomb down, and they need a kill that goes untraded on the way through to the site as well. PKL in the corners in a very easy position so long as he's got the vision. Yell may not even let them get that far as he catches both crossing over, and once again it's down to Kenny in that AWP. 3-2 looking likely as he's in a 1 versus 5, and Yell, what a great round, gets 4 kills in total.
These are the exact problems I saw from G2 yesterday on Mirage. They seem like they have a basic idea of the default they want to run, but the timings are slightly off. They've got flashbangs they want to throw and smokes they want to deploy, but the opening pick, this is a great shot by Yell. There you could see Smiths didn't really give himself much of a chance to do much about that, as Yell finds 3 kills in total. Fantastic stuff from him. Certainly a proficient AWP, very flashy. You can see how good he is with those few shots. Nice little sequence from him, and should be the full eco now. As G2 still lead 3-2. They'll just be on Glocks, maybe some P250s as the loss bonus starts to rack up. But it's a G2 tactical time out here. Remember now, his distance brought in to be this mastermind, to be the in-game leader, but he hasn't been at the top level of the scene for some time now.
Well, and it's not like there's excuses yesterday. When you consider a best-of-1 veto, you should never really end up on a map at a best-of-1 that you're not comfortable on. You have enough opportunity to take everything out that is perhaps that they haven't practiced on, that existence is uncomfortable on. It ended up on Mirage, which is a map he hasn't played at a top level very commonly, and it did not go well. So today in a best-of-3, you'd expect there has to be at least one map that's going to go their way, or at least that they have a contest on.
I just want to see signs of life. I just want to see them looking like they can be a competitive team. Sure, they haven't had the practice, but they definitely still have the skill and experience as a squad to At least make a dent here as Yell starts to pick them apart one by one once again. It's now a 5 versus 2. This round is over as Steel completely dismantles him from the connector there. 5 players survive in just existence with a Desert Eagle. No armor, might be able to get 1 kill here, not even that. Does get some damage off, but a clean sweep from the Brazilians. They tie things up at 3-3, and G2 now really need to work out what's going to be the rounds. They're going to find success, so they go for the set pieces here, the fast pushes, contact plays. There are many different options on overpass here. I assume they'll run defaults for now and try and let Kenny S do his thing, but he's only got a CZ for now. He's going to try and save money. He leaves himself on $2,000. Not going to spend absolutely everything. Certainly could have got the AK and armor, but opted for just a pistol and utility instead, just so he can build up his bank account. Hopefully they can take down Yell and upgrade the AWP in that respect. Steel getting towards the connector once more. There's going to be a bit of an altercation there. Not too much damage exchange though. Existence towards short, and now the default going reasonably well. Existence takes the nade to the head, down to 65 points of health, and CT's once again not too aggressive here. They've actually got a massive focus towards the B bomb site, not really much at all towards A. Steel there by himself right now, who's playing towards that connector as he goes down. Nice Molotov, that's much better from G2, using their utility to flush out the CTs and then capitalize on the fact when they're feeling uncomfortable. So nice 5-on-4, they've got plenty of time still a minute, wait for that reaction to come through. You want to see a basic execution after this, and they should be absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's almost a prediction call, if you will, from Luminosity, knowing that they've shut them down so well toward the A site time and time again. So just Steel to cover off in connector, and then hold on B. It's forced to go the other way. Yell's going to be the one to rotate back with the AWP. He is looking sharp so far this game as he catches body in front of the bathrooms. Smoke down, he wants to take advantage as well to find Kenny, but he's spotted first to the AK prevails. Finally, a kill that goes the way of G2, untraded as well. It leaves them a man advantage.
There we go, 4 versus 3. This is what we're talking about. Now go for that basic execution towards A. Not a single soul on the A bomb site. This is almost a gimme now for G2, as Luminosity won't go for it. The bomb gets planted, they'll hold on to their 3 rifles. So this is looking very promising. Obviously G2 have no information that the bomb site is clear. They'll still go through the procedure of clearing out the site, dropping the smokes, the flashbangs, but I very much doubt the CTs even attempt to retake this. And indeed, time to push towards Monster, they head towards T-Sport and just hold up, look for some exit frags here. So well done from G2, great utility usage towards Connect, like we said, and you're absolutely right. The fact that Luminosity have had so much success at the A-bomb site now, trying to funnel them towards B and show a bit of presence towards the connector, but good Molotov from Body, converted into a frag, did allow G2 to pick this one up and take the lead once again. Yell hit another fantastic shot in the bathroom, so he's going to be one to watch out for. He's certainly getting warmed up. Nice movement from Kenny S to take him down eventually, but this is much better now. G2 recover the AWP, and they keep 4 players alive. Remember, Kenny S came into this as just a pistol, so only 1 player going down is absolutely fantastic. And Luminosity will hold on to the rifles they have, 3 M4s, maybe 2. No, Showtime comes out on top, but not for long. Kenny S with his second frag of the round. Makes things a little bit more expensive, but Luminosity have found 3 rounds in a row. Their money's absolutely fine at this point. Can certainly bring up AWPs, even 2 of them they wanted to. PKL can or will Yell. We'll see whether that comes true. Not quite yet. Yell giving back the AWP. And now we're getting to the mid stages of the half. Good to see Kenny S back on the AWP. Look at the scoreboard while we're here. It'll be Kenny S on 6 frags, and at the very top, actually just beneath, the existence of 5. Top 4, L Luminosity is going to be Yell, of course, with 9 frags. You can't find the first opening pick there.
Is aggressive, has Steel to play off of as well. Good first find on his Smiths as they get aggressive for the first time ever at long. Traded back by Kenny. I guess has to reconsider as well. He'll go back toward the bathroom immediately. So G2 with a bit of room to work with. In fact, they've gone aggressive toward the construction position in the meantime as well. And it's Body to lead the charge, but Shox has already worked through Monster, and there's no eyes on that position based on Showtime. Backing off to pick. Good find for him. But Shox gets closer and closer, so too does Existence. PKL watches the ramp behind it, best to support, but if they go up short, which they do, there's nothing he can do to respond. That forces Yell to go aggressive, and Pickle, PKL, I like to call him Pickle, Henry.
That's a cute name for him.
He's going to be left in a 2 versus 3. And Nekas, who was so aggressive toward long, has to rotate all the way back over. Missed shot. That was their best chance on the retake. Nekas going to back away. It has to go to G2. 5-3. That brings the bonus back around. As you say, it was 3 rounds in a row. Keep in mind that's on the HUD at the start of each round. You can follow it, so easy to keep track of.
Yeah, we've got one of the slickest GUIs in CSGO right now. Lots of information on the fly cache there and the lost bonus track. You can see the round progress at the very top as well. Lovely stuff. It's got pretty much everything you could possibly need. as we'll see. Luminosity hold on to 1M4A4 here. It's going to be Nikiz to hold on to it. And that's much better. I think those are the kind of strategies that G2 will come out on top. I think the defaults are going to be too messy for them. They haven't played enough to really have a solid default there. Just a note, Shoxy went down with the bomb blast. I think nice snappy tactics towards B-bomb sites, fast plays, contacts in towards these areas where we know pound for pound G2 have got more firepower. I think that's going to be the most successful for them. You can see its existence getting in there, backed up by Shoxy as well. Lovely work, and then the 3-on-3 converted. Existence showing he can still roll the big boys here as he hits some great shots. Shoxy, solid as ever. 5-3, not quite an eco for the Brazilians just yet. As we'll see Yell on his final purchase of the AWP. A couple of FAMASs come out, so definitely being whittled down at this point. Yell will boost himself up on the flower pots there, and it's a very slow default now from G2. Not going to continue fast pace towards the B-bomb side just yet, waiting for the CTs who might be struggling with cash to maybe hump for that first frag. When you know you're low on utility, you can't really rest in your laurels and wait for the terrorists to come towards you. You might want to get the opening pick, shut down their default and fall back, but for now, Steel and Yell once again holding the A-bomb side. Yell focusing towards long, and Steel by the trash can at the bathrooms right now. It's a great position for him. We saw him find a couple of kills earlier just with that.
So Lumi's been playing on either side, aggressive, either toward the bathrooms with the AWP or the front of the bathrooms this time, sitting all the way back in the site. Perhaps letting G2 dictate the pace instead for a round, start to sort their default. As Luminosity in all 3 rounds they won, essentially dictated the play by their positioning early on. It's back over toward construction for G2. Bomb all the way back toward the T-stairs. That'll be gathered now by Existence. Rather than heading that direction immediately, takes it back to Fountain. The rotation going that direction as well suggests we'll get a battle between Yell and the AWP and about 3 G2 players, so he'll do well to get away with even 1 kill. It won't go that far. Body spots him immediately, good headshot, and that's going to open up the execution with 23 seconds. G2 are certainly bleeding out a lot of time, which puts pressure on the execution, on the site take, because if the bomb goes down, things can get rather chaotic. They blind the flash, and Shox to find Steel. That was their biggest problem in getting in. That works out perfectly for Body.
You can see Steel there. It's the one and done position for a reason. As soon as you get flash as well, you know you're about to be taken down. Had to just pull the trigger, hope for the best here, but this is looking quite promising now. Shoxy won't be able to find PK out. They'll have to hold on to the 3 rifles once again, but G2 now slightly more established, could maybe send a couple of players out to go hunting here, try and take some of these rifles down with them, but much better. G2 starting to take a comfortable lead at this point. It's going to be 6-3. Body with a single frag there, and indeed Shoxy helping out as well, but 3 players trying to survive desperately here. They'll be holding on to the M4s, 1 FAMAS, and a couple of defuse kits as well, 1 flashbang. But G2 really starting to build up their finances. Kenny S will save the orb once again, 7 frags obtained, and money in the bag. You do get a bit of extra cash with the bomb actually exploding, and that's the way you win the round. It's $3,500 per player on the terrorist side, so that's obviously going to be very beneficial. As we get into round number 10 here, LG, we'll see where they want to invest everything they've got to join these 3 rifles. I would say absolutely so. The fact you've saved 3 rifles, you can drop another couple of FAMASs, even UMPs. Just give it a go. They're not going to go for it at all. Yell and Steel not purchasing any armor. Just going with a P250 CZ. So they're being very conservative in that respect. I would say 3 rifles for me would at least bring out a couple more SMGs to go with them. But either way, Neck will be pushing up towards the rock here, and Kenny S could be challenged close range. We'll see how fast he is today.
PKL's alongside with them. Headshots, perfect shot from Kenny. Reads it so well, and he doesn't extend beyond where he has to. When he does, down goes PKL as well. Kenny's looking back on form. It's encouraging for G2. They've got 1 more player to find before the A site completely open, and Showtime goes first because he knows he has to pull the round back. Smiths won't allow that at all. P250 for Yell. Good position, fair enough. He's forward enough that he could catch them off, but he's left alone in a 1 versus 5. This round is done.
This is looking much better for G2 now. Kenny S hitting some fantastic shots. The entire squad survives. Smiths with a nice one as well towards the bathroom. Now they're looking very promising indeed. Remember on the T side of overpass, man. This is Luminosity's pick. This does not bode well for the Brazilians whatsoever. This was beautiful. I expect the question, does he look fast today? And I can give you an answer, Matt. It's a resounding yes. He looks very good indeed, as it will be a timeout now for G2, surprisingly, after winning.
A lot of that too comes down to
rounds.
crosshair placement. Kenny was perfect in clearing each of the possible positions behind the rock as he walked around. Interesting, you're right that G2 calls this timeout, but obviously they know the economic situation. They're going to be forced towards a lost round bonus, a maximum in the next round. It's 4 at this point.
Well, remember as well, they might not be feeling 100% comfortable with a set piece. Someone needs to be reminded of a few smokes or flashbangs that are going in. Is it a complex strat? Is it a fake? Who knows? Let G2 decide.
That's a good point, too, because when you swap players, even if everyone knows the strategy, you could be missing that one player that throws a specific smoke and have two players that are used to throwing, let's say, the window smoke and not the catwalk smoke. And now you got to identify, hang on, no, you have to throw that. Oh, you don't know how to throw that because you don't normally do it. Well, so there is just literally a reshuffling of roles in that position, in that situation, rather than actually knowing the strat itself.
Well, either way, fantastic scenes now from G2. 7-3 up on their opponent's map pick, but Showtime looking to steal frags back. Body will be dropped. Showtime getting that opening kill and falling back as well. He's left on 40 HP. Nice shot from Yell. Starting to get back into the game now, 5 versus 3. KennyS will try and recover the situation, but Steel's got such a fantastic position. I don't see KennyS having a chance here. But why do I ever doubt him as he takes Steel down very quick again? Gets dinked in the process, but still, the fact he even got the kill is impressive.
Yeah, Steel thought he had that dead to rights. Saw the smoke thrown, thought, yep, I'll jump out on that. Kenny somehow reads it. Love to see it from his POV. It looked like he was actually predicting it.
Yeah.
Either way, brings us to just a one-man disadvantage, which is actually totally workable given that they're going to work toward the B site and let Kenny go for contact. 11 HP, as you say. He did get dinked in the process of that exchange, but all he has to do is find one more on the take, and look how passive Luminosity are willing to play this. They almost want them to walk into the crossfire. We saw this exact same setup previously with PKL in the position that Showtime is. It did go G2's way. That was round 7, if I'm not mistaken, but Shocks, good find in the first. Nekka slides out. That's going to leave him nowhere to go when Existence comes in from the catwalk, and once again the smoke down. PKL walks out spotted, but Existence was going back to check the stairs. HP is low, but they're up against the AWP. Does have a nade. Oh, if he was a little bit sooner, he might have had a chance on that.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Yell. The HP not even a factor really now, considering he's got the AWP, but maybe he's got the information as he pulls out the pistol now. Flashbang goes in, has to go for the defuse here, and he will be able to do some damage towards Kenny, but not enough for the killing blow just yet. Needs to fully defuse the bomb here. It doesn't look like he has a chance. He's starting to flail somewhat, but there's the first frag. Molotov on top of the bomb, but that smoke is absolutely everything. Can go for the defuse, has got the kit. 2, 1. Can Kenny do anything about it? He can! Oh my goodness, Kenny comes in and saves it with 1 second to spare. It felt like that was enough from Yell, the AWP. Not useful at all in that situation. It's the pistol that goes for the defuse, the full smoke, but not quite enough there. KennyS denies him at the very last second.
Yeah, obviously had that information to go to the pistol. There's actually an AK down on the site, but didn't even have time to go for that in the end. Nearly gets away with it. G2 deny. We go 8-3. It puts the max round bonus to full. You can see it below the 5 players on the right-hand side. $3,400 that they receive each and every round they lose from this point onward until such time that they win a round.
And
Seems to be something they're struggling for.
That could be a blessing and a curse. If you win one round with just one player surviving, your money's still going to be wrecked for the next round, and then you've got that reset potential, which can be so disastrous on the CT side, especially in this sort of scenario, 8-3 down. You really need those rounds you win to be very clean and hopefully keep 3 or 4 players up. But for now, they might not even get a chance to do that. The CZs are out. They've done some pretty disastrous things this event. We've seen plenty of CZ highlights, as we always do, but they've lost the first frag. Existence actually looking pretty sharp today, Matt. He's finding plenty of kills here with that AK-47. Body, great positioning here. Could find himself a couple of kills. They're going to come up the ladder, and Peekaboo, he's ready for them. He'll get the first, but
Showtime immediately bails.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? That's not for me. I'm going to fall back here.
Pot knows he's there. Showtime wants to almost bait him in at this point in time. Flash up goes, but, excuse me, it was a smoke rather, but doesn't matter. Body stayed there the whole time. Leaves us with just 2 players remaining on the Luminosity side. 44 seconds. We're starting to get a little bit more pace to the game. Starting to get perhaps G2's confidence up, and certainly against pistols, they shouldn't have any problem. I say that, and then of course, immediately Shocks goes down, which gives away an AK-47. That might be just the goal at this point in time, is to carry that AK over.
I would say so. That's probably a fair assessment. The bomb we planted towards A now. Neck can still be holding on to the AK-47 and CZ. They've both got armor, so might as well hold on to that. It's very unlikely they can do really anything with this particular round. They have not got a kit. They're going to save a flashbang on those CZs as well. Those going to hold up towards the B side. But well done from G2. Another clean round. I would say they're pretty much fine for the rest of the half at this point. There's going to be close to $14,000 for Existence going to the next round. Everyone will pretty much be 5 digits after this one with 4 players surviving. So there we go. Luminosity desperately trying to hold on to what they can. You did mention the maximum loss bonus. I would say the double orb setup is almost a certainty for the next round. For Luminosity, finally got that loss bonus up. You've got enough to get double orbs out, and your gun rounds aren't really going too well. I would say PKL and Yell will bring those out into the next. We'll see. That would be my call at this point. I'm the coach to say, let's mix things up. We really do need to post these last few rounds. Getting too comfortable. Shoxy, the only player to be dropped, but they will pick up that AK-47 and CZ. Remember, they've got armor as well, so double AWP combo, will it be a potential? We'll have a look as we get into round number 13 here. There's the first steal. Yet to buy. We'll see if he wants to purchase the weapon as well. Not going to happen in 4 rifles.
Yeah, I was going to say he already has armor, so it's not like he even has to go glass cannon at that point in time. Could have dropped one over as well. But Yell's been absolutely fantastic on it. There's no question about that. He's got 11 kills in total. He's the highest on the scoreboard for his team. Problem is that even when they've gotten the opening pick a number of rounds, they're losing map control on the opposing side of the map. Started off very well, first 3 rounds, but that's all they've gotten. First 3 after gun, I should say. Not to be misled.
Yes.
It was G2 that certainly won the pistol.
It was looking like G2 could collapse after winning the pistol, but they've really stabilized at this point. Remember, Luminosity's pick here, overpass, lose this, and it sets you up for such a disappointing series. There's a lot of pressure on that second map, which is G2's cash pick, and obviously that's a very high fragging map. You've got a ton of skill and pedigree on the G2 side. Will Luminosity be able to overcome them? I'm not sure, but still, in this one for now, 9-3, another full buy for the Brazilians. Didn't go for the double AWP setup as I speculated, but G2 have.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a T-sided double AWP setup. Why not? That's getting confidence. We said we'd see it. We said it would likely be Smiths. It's Shox on the T side of all people. Now, keep in mind, when Shox is feeling it and when Shox is on, he certainly can be explosive with that weapon. Cobblestone is proof of that in 2016 and 2017. Don't know that this is the time for it, and he's at a modest game, we'll say. Existence actually up there with Kenny leads the way, both on 11. Well, so all the leaders for both teams on 11.
Make their way in slowly towards B. This is what we call the contact play. As slowly as you possibly can, silent until you find that contact. And it looks like Neck is ready for them, takes the first player down, but he's going to smoke towards the pillar at this point and try and push through. Maintains the man advantage. That's great play by him.
That's very smart. Because he was absolutely going to go down at sandbags if they continue to wrap in that position. The smoke buys time, puts Showtime the other direction. Molotov separates them. He goes down, but Neck went back in, and he's able to find Shox immediately at Monster. So again, it's Luminosity that controls the situation. Back the other direction. Again, they find early picks, but they give something up on the other side of the map. With 30 seconds, G2 can absolutely transfer. Thankfully, Smiths was jumping because Yell clips him in the shins. It puts him down to 16. The second shot doesn't land, and the bomb to be planted. Neck tries to go for the spam through the boxes, but Kenny was wise to it. Positioned himself just off to the right. Nearly caught him as well. Actually, through the box, did make contact. 25 HP still for Kenny. As the retake begins for Luminosity, 1 kit, Next the one that has it. Good find as Kenny had to get aggressive. They knew where Yell was. They wanted the op down. That'll help retake at least and hold angles on the site, but they still have to get the rifles in position. And Existence is at long. They're not ready for it. They've got the other kill, but to a one-on-one. Existence has to find it. He swatted the shadow. Still, PKL finds the kill. Gets to the kit, and I think he's just barely got time.
Yeah, he's absolutely fine there, so well done. But remember, we kind of built this scenario up, Matt. Once you reset that loss bonus, you go back to 0. If only one player survives in the round you win, you're still going to be very poor. Luckily, he does salvage AWP, so there is something, but they're not going to have a perfect buy here. Existence are lucky to win this one. You can see him pre-firing at this point, hoping PK would run into his crosshair, but well played by him. He does pick up the defuse there after finding the kid after that, but you can see going into round number 14 here, this is all their money invested. Luckily, they did save the AWP, so they still get rifles out and pretty decent amount of utility, but lose this one, they're going to be full eco for that last round, or full force buy, I should say. The money will just be non-existent. Body go for the B rush here, and what a shot to open things up. Neck will go down, and now it's up to Shoxy to push through, and this is going to be a round for G2. Fast pace, finding the shots, and nothing really LG can do about this. Yeah, we'll find one in return, but the bomb has been planted so early on, it's now a 4 versus 2.
Good prediction and anticipation. They've read the fact that there's been a player inside of pit every single round when they get toward the B site. Shox immediately smoked off from sandbags, was able to push and take that player down. It's been a problem for them because whether they're hunting it and get caught by a second player who's been baited in from jungle, or whether they just can't win the duel cleanly and end up losing a player in the process, it certainly has hindered their takes. It's much, much better off this time. Yell has to hold. You pointed it out, reset with one player. This AWP is essential to carry over right now for Luminosity, especially going into what will be round 15. So 10-4 for G2 T side as well. And you mentioned it, Luminosity's map choice. That's a problem when you look at the overall context of the series.
Yeah, and if it's going to cash next, like we said, a fragging map. And so far, Luminosity looks very flat in that department. All of G2 seem to be getting fired up now. It's great to see Shoxy hitting all the shots required. Existence with some good moments as well. Smith's finding impact kills, and Kenny S, he's had some great contributions so far. So the whole squad looking great. They found double digits on the T side. It bodes very well for this series. As we go to round number 15 here, the money has been reset for LG, but 2 players did stay alive. That's the AWP of Yal and PKL's FAMAS. So they're going to have to force buy around those weapons. CZ's coming out, of course. Why not? And Showtime on the SMG, more specifically the UMP, which is going to have a little bit of utility with it. But 11-4 on the T side of Overpass, that's almost a death sentence, I would say. LG desperately need this round. It is their pick. They can probably pull it back if they win the pistol in the second half, but it won't be comfortable at all. As the imports will come through. Luminosity with the last chance now. I feel like Yell has to be more aggressive this round. Let's go for a pick. Let's go for a boost perhaps towards Shaw. We haven't really seen much creativity in this sniper play. It's been pretty decent hitting the shots. We haven't seen many boosts coming in. We haven't seen very aggressive plays towards Shaw, for example. I'd like to see him mix things up as we go for the double orb setup again on the T side. Shoxy and Kenny S to wield those weapons.
Kenny has been impressive as well in this position. He's been reading the aggression from Luminosity. Remember that shot he hit on Steel? Showtime already burrowed into the bathrooms. Once again, it'll be lopsided in their defense. They have to try and gamble on this to some extent because without the weaponry, it's B to be held by an AWP. This used to be more prominent, in fact. A lot of teams obviously now play long, but I remember Astralis at a time with Device. They used to try and always rush toward Monster, always try and get there and get the early pick. Guardian did it for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first time we've already seen Yao out of position from middle or long. So he did go for a bit of an adaptation play there. Fired off a shot, didn't quite connect though. As long control comes in for G2 once more. Kenny S in existence leading the charge there. Smiths with the bomb towards middle. CT spot the players towards long, but haven't really got the weaponry to challenge so far. Smiths spraying wildly through the smoke. Connects one bullet towards Steel. But G2 getting closer and closer towards that A bomb site. Yell left alone on B. He's the only one with a significant weapon, the orb. But that's where they're going to hedge. They're going to fall back and try and see if they can crack open that side of the map. 35 seconds. Haven't got much time to do so here. If Yell finds an opening kill and stays alive, that could be everything. It's been given to Existence that he'll try and fake towards A. You can see him alone towards long right now. He's trying to open things up, trying to suggest they're going towards that A site. Shoxy already through Monster. Existence needs to go now if he's going to pull over a rotation.
Shots from Shocks. They've already identified the player onto short, onto the sandbags. Meanwhile, over toward A, PKL does win against Existence. That forces the take onto B without that much damage done for those who will be rotating. However, it certainly buys them space. Yell has done well to stay alive behind the sandbags.
That's all he had to do, Matt. Stay alive, wait for the retake. They got the man advantage here. No point giving up the AWP for nothing. But unfortunately, he will be dropped eventually. 4 versus 4, no kits available, and they're dropping like flies. This position from Body is absolutely everything. Looking for the clean sweep, couldn't quite find it at the end, but that's going to be enough to guarantee the round. Kenny has to close things out. 3 players to survive, and on the T side of their opponent's pick, they will be winning 11-4. This is fantastic news for G2.
Yeah, much, much better. And we said it. I mean, Luminosity is probably the right opponent for them at this point in time. Yesterday, they got battered. They've had a lot of problems, a lot of changes within the team, and this is a game in which they can build up confidence, start to feel each other out as teammates, and get back into the rhythm, especially for a guy like Smiths, who's, yeah, okay, we said it yesterday, he's going to have some idea of the way they're playing. Sure. Changes with Existence coming in. But even as a coach and seeing everything, it's different than actually feeling it out and being in the server. So
definitely.
This is important for him. As I said yesterday, you know, I said, welcome back. He said, not yet. He didn't even feel like he got anything accomplished yesterday.
B rush coming in. There is a smoke deployed towards the side. Body with the P2000. I don't think he can do anything about this. Lovely play so far from Luminosity. Really effective flashbang. Really send Body packing. And for now, they're looking like they're going to boost up towards Heaven. But this could be a misplay. 3 players coming in towards Shore. And they will get a player up and the opening frag. So now, looking much more stable for Luminosity.
Trying to do what he can, does turn it around to spot out Body, rotating back in, but he's well aware of the fact that Kenny still exists within construction. He's now left alone, does hit a lovely shot on Denekas, but unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be much in the round. As it is confirmed, Yell finds the shot bomb. Planted late, but it doesn't matter. It's both pistol rounds going the T side, and Luminosity a chance to perhaps return serve.
Now there is a bit of a reputation behind G2. They do enjoy a force buy. I'm almost certain we're going to see that in the second round. Just want to make sure we see Kenny S go for the eco here. Obviously, we know how valuable he is with the orb. I'd like to see him stay full eco, which he is. So that's absolutely fine. The rest of the guys can get deagles, armors, P250s. As Kenny S will keep himself at a decent amount of cash. So you love to see that. Just wanted to make sure he has the orb in that first gun round. This is looking quite promising for G2. Go for that nice B execution here. You could run into a stack, but there are 3 players on the other side, so I wouldn't say it's going to be too scary for them. We'll see whether Smiths can get anything done here. He's got the close range Deagle, and that's a lovely shot from Showtime. But fully flashed, will be taken down, but still they maintain the man advantage here. Not for long.
Dropped temporarily. Like does pull one back as he hits Shocks, but Yell's the one that needs to make the contact aggressively, and Kenny able to stay alive, controls the peak, does good damage. That'll give Existence a chance, but he's got a long way to go and a lot of work ahead of him with PKL, especially on 100 HP. Immediate trade. Controlled in the end. That could have gotten ugly.
There is a conversation to be had. If you're G2 right now, just taking just P250s in that second round, you've got a massive lead right now. You don't need to steal that round away. You're not at a coordinated team right now. You haven't had much practice. Your CT side is going to be difficult, so it's considered the easier side of the map, but if you've got a lack of practice, the coordination can be really off. I'd rather have all the utility, the AWP, the defuse kits, give myself a real fighting chance in those initial gun rounds. Now they'll be struggling somewhat. I'll take the full eco now, but this should be 11-7, no problem at all. LG just making sure they keep 5 players alive. That's not even going to happen here. Yell gets dropped. P2000 will take him down. But their kids will be there to recover the situation. I don't think this will be too uncomfortable towards the end.
A good hold from Steel. It was a Mac 10 that they lost, so not a big problem. And knowing that it's an attractive weapon when you're only on pistols, Steel babysits it and is able to pull the situation back. Shock survives with 2 HP. And Existence is in this as well, but really not much to argue. Minute and 10 seconds. Luminosity can slow it down, play it to perfection at this point in time with the bomb. A bomb that heads toward B. Based on the fact that Nikas has gone aggressive and gotten into the stairwell. Being that far forward, he wouldn't be able to see the window, so it's not 100% clear, but PKL will take that information and work with it. Well found, and now we get into the gun rounds. You're right in saying that G2 could have had the argument of going more aggressive on the buy, but I personally like to see that they're being conservative, because we know it's been a problem for G2 and Envy and various French teams. Even go back to Titan, you could argue it was still an issue, the force buying, and especially in this event, don't give anything away that you don't have to.
Here we go, first gun round. Kenny S without armor could be a bit of an issue. Opts for the smoke and flashbang instead. G2 can pick this one up, they'll be right back in it, but if LG do, I dare say they could pull this one back. We'll have a look as to how it transpires. Peek out, making his way towards Connector right now, and there's a bit of wallbang attempts from Showtime there towards Shaw, but that's where Kenny S is. He needs to be very careful. With no armor, he is extremely squishy. Steel and Nekis will make their way towards long. This is quite a fast-paced default from the Brazilians here, looking to get towards the bathrooms. Kenny S just exploring his options towards Shaw. He'll be looking towards the Shaw pipe in a second. PKL in the connector right now. So the B side of the map actually open. Really, G2 just getting information here. His body starts to probe towards T-spawn. He's going to get that intel very soon. That means Smiths and Shoxy can essentially fall back towards the A side. We'll see if that rings true in a second. Smiths, you can see him starting to move on the radar, and Shoxy as well. They've got the information. They're going to head back towards the A side. This is fantastic by Body. He's all the way in T-spawn right now. He's locked in LG. They haven't operated quickly enough. You can't be so slow when you've let half the map completely open. And just hope that G2 respects the fact that you might have presence towards B. Execution coming in, but 4 G2 players waiting for them.
Yeah, all in position. Kenny as well is going to slide out with the AWP. Flash goes over, now he's aware that they're there. The problem is he's got to get his vision back in time. Certainly does, but speaking of time, it's Showtime that'll take him down. Traded back by Existence. Showtime, again the one to offset the damage, but it's all onto Body, rotating a well distance from that connector. So smoke down, bomb planted. Yell's already backed out toward long. He can't catch the planter. PKL, good find. Yell knows exactly where he is. AWP, and he's got the distance to cover. Well struck, and you said it. If G2 didn't win the first gun round, there's a chance LG pulled this back.
Yeah, absolutely so. Now that's going to be a guaranteed eco now for the French boys. It's going to be 11-9. That's if they don't pull off something absolutely miraculous here on the full eco, but we'll see. Nice work from LG, even with the 4-man stack towards the A side, they come out on top. Sure, it came down to a 1 versus 1, but you're on the T side right now. Money's not such a massive factor, and it will be Existence who's... What has he done? Has he purchased fully? Existence has gone all in with a FAMAS armor. He's brought himself down to 0. I guess they get maximum loss bonus next round anyway, so he's banking on the fact he'll just be on an SMG and going to see what he can do with the FAMAS here.
Is this miscommunication already from the in-game leader?
I'm not sure. That's a bizarre call from him. It's not that the FAMAS is really going to change the outcome of the round. We'll see. Maybe he's got something crazy in store for us.
It's definitely one worth asking him about afterward. Because if he's thinking they're going to buy and they don't, based on their old occurrences. It can certainly set them off. Existence with the gun already spotted, forced back onto the bank stairs. Back out, but no vision with that Molotov down, and Showtime able to follow up onto him. Shox has to rotate, Deagle in hand. Good first find on a neck. He goes back out for more, but can't quite find Yell as he gets over toward the bomb box. That Deagle still menacing, the 3 players to hold the angle, and Showtime gets tagged. He's down to 9 HP, 2 kills in the round, but it's Smiths and Body to pull it back, and that buy is going to haunt them. Look at the HP on 4 players from Luminosity. It's frustratingly low, but they can't find the kills, and Yell and the AWP picked up as he backed off, is easily able to close this. It is just Smiths to find, but no chance against 4.
Well, there we go. FAMAS, that's almost nothing there. Now we'll see Existence with just $3,400. He can get an M4, but have no armor, no utility. That's why they'll take the pause. I think that must have been a lack of communication. I'm not really sure. Maybe he's just hoping to get a couple of frags and be fine for the next round. But now he's got $3,500. His teammates can buy. They'll just be discussing how they get themselves out of this sticky situation they found themselves in there. Maybe go for the double orb setup. They could do that and put him on an SMG instead, or a shotgun towards the connector. The unpause will come through. They haven't purchased anything just yet. Luminosity now on 9 rounds. It's 5-0 in the second half, and this is where I said G2 would struggle. It is a CD-sided map, but the coordination, the rotations on the overpass can be a little bit tricky, and it will be the single orb for Kenny. Existence on a FAMAS again. He gets Kevlar, 1 smoke and the flashbang, so not ideal, but still okay. And it will be a B-sided approach from Luminosity here. They're going to see the Molotov on the bomb side. Flashbang and smokes going in. Showtime to lead the way. Can he open things up? Looking for that first shot. Already behind enemy lines now. They are going to find the first kill, but Body still fighting strong on the bomb site here. And Smiths with 2 miraculous kills with the M4A4. That's exactly what they needed here to stand a chance.
Good read by Body. Showtime that deep in the site could have been a huge problem, especially where he got behind the pillar and he thought he had safety, but the kill solves all. Bomb goes down behind the barrels. Little that PKL can do. He will back off. 1:17. A misstep from G2, and he gets this to a 1 versus 2, and he might have a chance into it, but that doesn't seem likely based on their position, based that they know the bomb is inside of the site.
Well, there we go. G2 so happy they went for the rush there. They had a lack of utility, a lack of firepower, and they get fed the B rush there. Great work by Smiths to the 2 frags, but still, PKL in with a shower this one. He is going to have a 3 versus 1 situation in front of him. 100 HP and just under a minute to work with, but the bomb is down on the site. Needs to find a very quick opening kill and bait out the second player on the bomb site here. We'll see if we can get anything done. Smiths edging towards his position, but Kenny S is there. Remember, with the AWP, misses the first shot, but gets the intel.
PKL needs to find the kill immediately and lose little HP. Didn't get that far, didn't even get the kill. It's Smiths to shut it down 12-9. You're right, they pull it back, got there quickly and found the rush. Gives them money to work with. Does potentially hold a reset, but 3 players staying alive, they should be able to withstand. There is certainly guns available still on the T side. Maybe as well, just a note for Yell. Smith's coming alive now. Henry's finally hit double digits, on to 10 kills. Yeah. Everyone's fairly even on the G2 side.
That was a nice round from him. Good, solid defense. It's Kenny S. Hiding that shot. A little bit uncharacteristic for him, but it will be Nekes to find it. It's going to be a 5 versus 4 now. That's perfect for a T-side overpass opening kill, because now you've got loads of time. You've taken down the AWP player as well. You can start to be maybe a little bit more audacious with your picks. You know you're going to have heads-up duels against M4s. As Body with the reaction play pushes off short, trying to get some intel here once again. He might take a risk and tell his teammates just to focus on the A bomb site. Now he's got himself towards that connector. Smith's AK in hand, trying to find some heads on the other side of the map, but can't get anything done so far. His teammates just lying in wait towards the bathrooms.
PKL's going to start to flush those out. Shox backs off. He'll just barely get around before being spotted. So more passive from G2. Steel not peeking wide, is unable to spot, therefore Existence getting back inside of the site. Molotov to hold them at bay a little bit further. 46 seconds on the clock. A rotation coming back over as well from Smiths. They want to desperately bait Shox in. Existence is going to have to be aggressive to do so, because Shox in that corner. The aggro's gone. They're going to line up in front of him. He waits to fire. He didn't even need to get more than 1 kill, because Smiths does an excellent job for the one and done side of the truck. Swap over rather than reload, and that AK's got plenty of ammunition to take down Neck Bomb as well, and it's Yell in a 1 versus 2. And what would be back-to-back rounds for G2. Bomb will be gathered, but with 15 seconds, Shox knows he doesn't want to allow him to plant it. Immediately goes back out and takes the duel.
Pitch perfect play there from Shoxy. This guarantees round victory there. Aggressive at the very start, baited in, and you can see this is working in tandem with Smiths. They are classic friends, and they're playing classic Counter-Strike there as well. Fantastic stuff from Shox as he manages to drop the Molotov on the bomb, buy himself some time to fall back, pushes through his enemy's Molotov, and then get 3 kills in total. Really, really nice stuff there from G2. We'll have a look at the money situation for Luminosity. They're all hovering around the $3,000 mark, and G2 now in touching distance of closing out the map. What's the play? Do you go for the force buy? Try and bring out everything you can, a couple of rifles, some pistols, and hold on. Or do you allow G2 to get to 14 rounds and then have a very difficult uphill battle to try and get yourself back in the game? It looks like the partial buy will come out. A couple of CZ, some armor as well. Everyone kind of equal and fragging the G2 side. Great to see them having a great team effort today. Smiths will be on 12, Body on 13, and Kenny S 14, and Existence of Shoxy there with 16 frags apiece. PG-50s are out, Eagles as well. A couple of smokes toward the T side, only one player of armor. And you can see G2 reading this tremendously well, as Existence of Smiths will have the MP9s, the perfect weapon to chew through these unarmored opponents.
It does, yeah, it looks great for the MP9s and for the SMGs, but it does kind of put a little bit of pressure on the double ops. I often talk about that and the fact that double ops can get overrun quite quickly, and Smith's going down already. That's one of the SMGs gone. Fortunately, they found a kill before such time as Existence was able to open the round on a PKL. Showtime. Solved by that further aggression from the SMG. Now it's Kenny with a shooting gallery. Time to pad some stats. He's got one already. Round looking more and more secure by the second as they walk into his AWP, a rotation of 2 players, and there will be a flank behind as well as Neck realizes that. It Shocks to get the kill, and we go 2 rounds from the end for G2. Luminosity still held to 9. We'll have guns again in this round.
LG up against the ropes now. 14 rounds established for G2 on their opponent's pick. There is money available for the Brazilians as we get into round number 24 here. 5 AKs are out. Yell won't have the support system of the AWP to fall back onto, and he's up against Body and Kenny, both with AWPs in hand as Kenny looks at his first pick. You know he's so good at this shot. Now already misses out this time. Throws a grenade to try and do a little bit of damage there. Doesn't really connect. But there it is. That one certainly does. Takes down Steel, drops the smoke, secures his position. And now Showtime doing a little bit of damage there towards Body, but he did get legged in the process. Down to 20 points of health. This is not looking good.
Neck is gone as well as Shox is able to find him with the M4. Does so without even taking any damage. So now a 5 versus 2.5, if you want to call it that. Showtime on 20 HP has to be perfect on the AK. Kenny unrelinquishing his position. Hold in front of the bathroom. Smiths has confidence there toward Monster that they'll slowly be funneling in that direction. Good find for him. He's certainly warming up to things. Takes down Yell, as well as the aforementioned low HP player on Showtime. It's PKL defined against 5. Bomb down, and it's going to be map point. Smiths to confirm it for G2.
Disappointing round there. They really had to step up, LG, and they couldn't find a single frag. Tried to probe towards middle. Kenny has found the first, funnels him towards B, and then that double AWP combo working in tandem. Smith's having a really decent game here as well. Impressed by his contribution so far, and that should be the game. It's going to be a very difficult procedure to get 6 rounds in a row, and even to get over round number 25. They've got 4 CZs here, and the single UMP. That's their strongest weapon, as they are on map point now, and Existence. Flash of the start. He knows the money's going to be low. He's no stranger to the economy system of Counter-Strike. He'll be tracking it himself and knowing they don't have to be too aggressive here. They can use these AWPs, hold up in crossfires, and make Luminosity work for this.
Waits from window, smoked off. It's a deep smoke. He may have been able to play that on the ledge and still be able to fall back inside of it, but he commits to getting inside of the site, and rightfully so. He's able to take down Neck on arrival. AWP for Body this time, and Steel falls next. Kenny on the flank. Map done. G2 are going to take Luminosity's pick, 16-9. Much better performance than they had yesterday, of course, against Luminosity, who also struggled, but they'll take